music right now. You should be like doom, 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 doom to get things going here. Well, welcome everyone. We're jumping into a quick live session. This really is kind of born out of Michael is just so extremely excited about the announcements coming out at Build that I was like, hey, Tommy, Seth, we've got to do a React video. There's a session that we have to react to. This is going to be amazing. So
when you start talking about yourself in third person, I know it's going to be good.
It's going to be good, or it's going to either crash and burn quick.
You're not the only one who's excited, my friend.
Yeah,
we're all here.
So we're going to jump in. We are going to get going here with this video. This is the Microsoft Build session video from Empower Every Power BI Professional to Do More with Microsoft Fabric. Fabric was just recently announced at the Microsoft Build conference. And this is an on-demand video. You can go get the description of the video if you want to go watch the whole thing yourself. It's in the description of this video right now. You can go hit the link and watch the video for yourself. But I'm going to turn on here for you guys, and we're going to kind of watch together and react to the video.
Bring it on.
Bring it on. All right, so here we go. We've got our video, and we'll kick you off here. So this is from Microsoft Build, and this session is going to be incredible.
We should do all of our things this way.
To this session. We are so excited.
So much easier when someone else makes the content.
Here at Build.
Christian Wade, man, that is as close as to Picard as I've seen in a while.
Zoe,
looking sharp.
Thanks, Christian.
He's leading the helm on the data ship here. You know, that's how this goes.
That's exactly right.
I think I had that shirt in high school.
Fabric.
No, I know I had that shirt.
USS Fabric, I guess is what it would call.
We'll be joined shortly by Rui Romano.
Rui. Did he say Rui?
Yeah, he's Rui's legendary.
Oh, yeah.
He's making some announcements in this one.
And a vision demo that you won't believe. So let's get stuck in. The cat is well and truly out of the bag. We've been working on Fabric for some time now, and we couldn't be more excited to share the good news with our community. Fabric will truly transform.
This is going to be interesting to see how this pans out, this One Lake thing.
Because customers today are often locked into proprietary vendor formats. They have to spend inordinate amounts of time and money.
This is a neat architecture. This is something that I'm super thrilled about. I'm loving the fact that they're pulling this lake thing in here. Granted, you know, One Lake is just blob storage with some maybe bells and whistles on it, but like, I feel like this is what we've been wanting all along. Do everything in one place.
We want this?
I want it. Maybe you don't, Tommy.
I think this is the linchpin of the whole thing, right? Like this is, I think
Microsoft has had leading
what's being touted so far are some of the capabilities within One Lake kind of elevate just combining all these services together.
One copy of data and a unified
I agree.
This may be minor, but I'm happy the logos aren't too similar. Like,
think about what this means for customers.
It's a minor pick, but good job on the logos.
Data shared across Fabric analytical engines means customers will dramatically.
Notice right there.
Pause this? Can you pause this?
Yeah, pause this.
Oh, this is 3 hours.
Yeah.
This is part I caught this.
3 hours, who cares? But yeah, it's one copy of data.
Yes.
Right. So if you've seen some of the other demos, which blows my mind and also opens up a kind of scary reality, I guess, is there was a different demo, I think, where Justina was had a query in the warehouse that was referencing multiple tables, and then there was some bad data, and then jumped into a lake house where she opened a Jupyter notebook kind of, and then modified the data.
Yes.
In the same data.
Yes.
Or same table. Went back to the warehouse, and it was already clean.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So essentially, it's creating this stateful object that
yes,
all of these different areas can interact with. And on one hand, like, wow, that's super powerful. On the other,
I know where you're going.
This could break a lot of stuff.
Wait a minute. Who is doing what? Where?
Who's writing what? Yeah, and how are you checking that? I mean, yeah.
But that stateful aspect of it, it blows my mind. Like that's got a lot of legs, I think.
All well and good, but again, that's a great point. Is someone go, oops?
Yes. Well, and interesting here. Listen to the language he's saying here. He's saying some language around here about like an analytics. Usually we talk about compute engines. He's talking about analytics engines. And so like, if you think about all the different things we have inside this environment now, there's like this, you know, we have a data factory. We have a SQL engine. We now have a Spark engine. All these engines it's an analytical engine. So I like how they're changing the language here a little bit around this like one lake area and the analytics that we're talking about now, because this changes the story of it a little bit, I think.
Well, we're 2 minutes in, and we haven't seen anything yet. So
we haven't seen anything yet.
This is done with deep integration with Microsoft Office, Teams, and delightful AI Copilot experiences.
Love
you
it.
won't believe some of the demos you're about to see.
I won't believe
Now
it.
let's
By the way,
talk
try to
about
explain
direct lake
Copilot
storage
to your
mode for Power
neighbors
BI
who
datasets
don't
in
understand,
the
have never heard of
Fabric.
Copilot. They're not
Direct
going to be
lake.
as jazzed
No
as
clue.
you
Remember the
are.
name.
Nope.
Yeah,
Power BI datasets have had direct query and import storage modes for a very long time.
Slow.
an accurate
Users
statement.
interact with visuals
Yeah,
in Power BI
slow.
and they submit DAX queries to the Power BI dataset. Direct query avoids having to copy data, but typically suffers performance degradation by having to submit federated
statement.
Yeah,
queries
accurate
to
statement.
other database systems that are just not
gonna
as
argue.
efficient for BI.
Someone at marketing was doing some wording on that. Like they had us write that part over like 6 times.
Because queries are answered from our columnar data store.
Where
that
were
is
they? Where are we
highly
going with
optimized
this?
for
That's what
BI
I want to
workflow.
know. We're
But of course, the data has to be copied during refresh, introducing management overhead.
introducing direct
Enter
import mode.
direct lake mode.
Okay.
By querying data directly from the lake, Power BI datasets enjoy blazing fast
Okay,
query
this is
performance
key.
on a par with
I
import
am not
mode
even listening.
without having to copy a single row of data.
Okay, this here is amazing to me. Listening to how they describe this feature, this is really exciting. So what this is saying is, there's this new one called direct lake mode. So yeah, Tommy, you're kind of right. We should call it direct import lake mode thing, like
Correct. Inter-directory mode.
inter-directory lake mode. Like this is crazy cool. Like I'm really excited about this feature here because when Christian talks about this, if you didn't hear it, we need to listen to what Christian says on how this data is being loaded and how it's being loaded into models inside Power BI. Check this out. So let's see if we can. Yeah, I might have to bounce it back here 10 seconds here.
Okay.
Boop. All right.
By querying data directly from the lake, Power BI datasets enjoy blazing fast query performance on a par with import mode without having to copy a single row of data. Now, I know what you're thinking.
What?
How on earth is this physically possible?
I am.
It literally
Hang on.
sounds too good to be true. Well, it just so happens that Parquet is also a columnar storage format that works perfectly with our engine. So let me make this clear. Power BI is moving to Delta Lake and Parquet as its native storage format. This changes everything.
This is huge.
Let's run a direct lake demo.
You mean
I'll start off in
Okay, gotta pause it. Hang on.
Warehouse.
Did you hear that?
so? The default way it's going to store is going to be Parquet.
Parquet. So they've changed it.
No.
He's just said that.
In
Columnar
this
store.
format, in this format. So it's Delta Parquet, right? So these are Delta tables, which means it is not just random Parquet files. It allows you to add the indexing or the columnar indexing on top of it, right?
No. He's saying he's saying it's direct. It's the new default format for analysis services is Parquet and Delta table formatting. Like
Parquet, yeah. It's the Delta table.
but that is such a smart move. I mean, again, this is technology is not new.
Yeah.
This has been out for a while. It's open source. You can go check it out. Alex says go back 10 seconds. Alex Dupler. All right, Alex, this one's for you. 10 seconds back. Here we go.
Storage format. This changes everything. Let's run a direct lake.
Oh, maybe I got to go back 20 seconds.
Start off
All right,
with
sorry.
Fabric Lakehouse
We just got
You
this changes
guys are
everything.
dumb.
Also
Just
a
let
columnar storage
Christian
format.
talk.
Now I know what you're thinking. How on earth is this physically possible? It literally sounds too good to be true. Well, it just so happens that Parquet is also a columnar storage format that works perfectly with our engine. So let me make this clear. Power BI is moving to Delta Lake and Parquet as its native storage format. This changes everything.
That's it. He's changing it.
Let's run a direct lake.
And from the
Donald, first, thanks for joining us, and he makes a comment. I miss import mode already. Maybe.
This makes me miss him, but this is huge.
From the Fabric, the live session at 6, they're going to convert everything to Parquet. What you import.
So this is what I'm talking about, though, right? Like a Delta table has that Delta log file on top of it, right?
Yes.
And that's the difference between just a random folder with a bunch of Parquet in it versus a Delta table. Is it has that
all modes.
that index or that search capability across it.
And the neat part about this too is if you think about what a delta table, so if you think about what's happening in the data flows today, there's a series of CSV files. Those CSV files are loaded each time you bring in data, and then you also have a model.json file at the top.
Data flows.
Yeah,
because
I don't like it.
They weren't reusable.
No, not
like you
reusable.
Couldn't use them anywhere else. But
exactly right.
That's also changed.
Now you can. Well, because everything
already runs on this.
All artifacts are now in OneLake and
in Delta.
In the Arun or in the other
Amir session.
Arun Amir session, like they outline in there. Everything is stored in Delta Parquet.
That's huge.
The two major announcements with data flows is you can have the templates and you can push that to the OneLake.
This is a bigger announcement. All right. This is a bigger announcement than Fabric.
We're going beyond just a React.
I know.
This is huge, though.
What were you expecting?
Well, here he is. He's showing you the Parquet files right here in the lake.
Select the tables I'm interested in, and I immediately land in the recently announced Power BI dataset web modeling experience. I didn't even
in
have
web
to
modeling.
Browser. I can create relationships and measures. And here's the kicker. I can click on
the warehouse mode
and create a beautiful Power BI report.
Who writes that fast?
From the lake. Notice, I
think they sped things up pretty quick.
I need to hire this.
And what I'm talking about.
This is how fast I work in desktop. I don't know about you guys.
I need to hire this developer.
With blazing fast performance, and we didn't have to copy a single row of data. We didn't have to manage ETL jobs into the data warehouse.
So what about refresh?
We didn't have to manage data.
You don't
none.
Power BI dataset.
Oh, man.
Users can create beautiful Power BI reports in seconds without any data duplication.
There it is, right there. In
now
seconds,
let's switch
loading.
gears and talk about developer experiences in Power BI.
So we are developers. We are developers.
Yeah, we are. This is the session for us.
Okay.
Ready? Hold on to your seats. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Developer mode enables source control and CI/CD integration for
Wait, what?
data sets and reports. We're providing native integration with Git from the Power BI service that can be optionally integrated with
Tommy just fell out of his chair.
Bro, pause.
Instead of saving to a PBIX,
pause.
Yeah,
so
right?
how many podcasts have we had where
whining about
just
this,
bemoaning the fact that we have nothing, and they're just like, oh yeah, by the way, not only are we changing the entire ecosystem that you play in, including Power BI, and just like making all these things work together. Oh yeah, by the way, here's entire CI.
Boom. Here's look at it going. Look at the diagram. It's going from, I got it on my other screen here.
Tyndall, this is Tyndall.
You save desktop. You get a local folder structure. They've got a folder for .git, report, service report, sales data set, sales report, .git ignore, and sales PI. Look at that. PDIP. There's a new file format on the bottom of that image. PDIP on the bottom there. And then they're ripping out, they're going commit and checkout from Git. They're going all the way into DevOps or Git host. And then they're pushing directly to the workspace. This is linking Git right to your workspace. Like, this is what we've been asking for. Oh, this is so good.
Tyndall. This is where Tyndall comes to play.
Yep.
This is so good.
Why is Teams in there?
Keep going. I want to see if I'm just.
Why is Teams in there? What's Teams got to do with this?
So you can check into source control. So without further ado, let's invite Rui to join us from Portugal. Rui, over to you.
Hi, my name is Rui, and I'm a product manager on the Power BI team, focusing on developer experiences. And I'm really excited to show you the new developer experiences we have for Power BI. Let me show you. Now, with Power BI Desktop, you not only have the option to save your work as a single PBIX file, but you can also save it as a Power BI project. A new save option that will make Desktop save your developments into a folder, finally unblocking source control and collaboration using Power BI.
This is cool.
Let me show you. From an open Power BI report, you can now go to File, Save As, and select the Power BI project Save As type. And Desktop from now on will
there's a project
all
type, you
your
said.
developments into a folder.
There it is.
This is a folder with a Power BI project in it. It contains one folder for the dataset and one folder for the report. So if I go back to Desktop and I create a new measure, Desktop will save the new measure in the model definition within the dataset folder. And I can use
Nice.
Tableau, the open source community tool.
That's
to
so
open the
cool.
model definition file and view the measure.
There it is, right there.
created
New measure
on
from desktop.
Now,
That's
let's
sick.
do the opposite. Let's create something in Tabular Editor and
This
see
is
it
that
looks
integration
like
with
Here
your
it is.
modeling on the web.
Here it
Let's
is.
duplicate the product table and save.
Oh, he's duplicating a table.
If I go back to desktop, I don't see that new table because desktop it's not aware from outside changes. So I need to close desktop and reopen the Power BI project file.
PIB.
And I'll be able to see the new table created in Tabular Editor.
That's a little
But
rough,
notice
but-
something
This is
interesting.
that integration.
It'll
we
get
talked
better,
about
it'll get
with
better.
Tabular with
All
modeling.
my
on
there
the
it
web.
is.
tables have data. But if I click on that new table,
Oh, no
that new
data.
table doesn't have data. Why?
Gotta refresh
Because
it, 'cause you just
Tabular
Never
Editor
refreshed it.
Didn't refresh any data.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Just created a new table definition.
I knew where he's going.
Notice also something. So Power BI
So
Desktop,
smart.
because it's working in a Power BI project,
He almost made me spit take that one.
detected that I have some tables that have incomplete or no data, and is asking me to refresh.
Wow, so many
now.
yellow bars at the top now.
And if I click
It's gonna
refresh,
just cover your
it's
screen.
also smart enough to only refresh that single new table that I created.
That's
from
smart.
Tabular
That's like
Editor.
Tabular Editor when
And
you
now
push
Yeah.
that
it
Power
back.
BI Desktop can work on a folder, I can initialize a Git repo
Yeah.
and enable version control and collaboration with other developers.
This means other people could
And I
build
can do
pages
that
and merge them
using
together
Visual
now.
Pause.
Studio Code.
Pause.
From the Power
So,
BI project folder.
yeah.
Yeah,
This
pause.
is,
Hold on.
you
So
can,
Okay.
This is the question we had with Emily about how is it going to work with modeling on
Yes.
the web.
Yes. This makes more
And-
sense now.
This makes perfect
Uh,
sense
yeah.
because we were saying, how are you going to model on the web, then try to open that on desktop? That didn't make any sense.
Exactly. This is
And yeah,
cool.
People, and you can have the collaboration. Granted, I don't know if you're going to
enable version
see
control.
Sorry.
changes in desktop though. You're gonna have to probably see that in like VS Code. You're not going to see like, hey, someone else committed. You're behind. I don't
Well,
think
now
you're
it's
gonna-
it, but it doesn't matter now. Now it's Git because
Yeah,
Git just makes.
then you
So what
merge
happens is Git
pages.
makes a new commit. Multiple people can work on the same stuff all at once. So
Yeah.
if you're now in modeling on the web, you're now only modifying the folder called model. That's the one
Right.
you're modifying. So if you modify things on the web, the Git will
Change your hat.
the Git will just magically update itself and make another commit, and then you'll see. Yeah, you can keep working on your stuff, but you'll be behind. And
Yeah.
so as you're behind on the local copy,
How
you can
it
then
works.
pull down your changes and say, hey, look. And then I guarantee you, at some point they're going to be like, oh, by the way, let's have James Bartlett write a little command shell that just kind of pulls the Git repo every 5 minutes, and that way you can kind of auto-magically pull down, keep pulling requests every couple of minutes to make sure you're up to date on stuff.
I
Like
know.
that'll be so cool.
Yeah, merges. are
Wow,
interesting.
this is
Right,
cool.
You need a new hat, Mike.
I need a new. I'm going to build it tonight. We'll have another one by tomorrow. Awesome.
Control and
PBIP
collaboration
hat.
with
PBIP
other
hat.
developers. And I can do that using Visual Studio Code.
I'll
From
buy
the
that
Power
hat.
BI project folder. I
Yes,
can open
code.
Visual Studio Code
This is my favorite
and
tool. outside of Power
initialize.
BI.
I love
a new
Visual Studio
Git
Code.
repo. And from now on, because I have a Git
Show me the
enabled
magic.
folder, I can track and version control any change I make in this.
This is stinking
For
amazing.
example, if I change a measure, I can easily track that change in Git.
Times 2. Yep. Sales times 2. That's what I do to make my sales numbers look great. Done.
Now to enable
Sales have
collaboration,
doubled.
I
We're
need to
behind
use
target, not for long.
Azure
Not for
DevOps.
long. I can fix
So
this.
I can go to Azure DevOps
And check it into
and
Git.
Create a new repo.
Wow.
Let's call it dev mode. And I need to configure this remote Git repo URL back in Visual Studio Code.
What about credentials? Are they still not going to be saved in the Git repo then?
And publish my
If I'm doing collaboration, someone doesn't have like
and
SQL
Visual Studio
credentials.
Code will take care of syncing my local development into Azure DevOps.
Where does that live then?
You're listening desktop.
And
Desktop
now
Desktop
I
keeps
can
all your
enable
credentials.
collaboration
Yeah, but
and
wouldn't it
have
live also in
multiple
the PBIP?
developers
Nope.
working on the same Power BI project
And
using
pause
Power
this.
BI Desktop.
All
They
right.
only need
What
to
it-
be connected. to the
Pausing.
So for me, this is just like a refresher of stuff I used to do a lot, right back in the day, right?
Yeah.
When you were using tabular models and you were still in Visual Studio, and that was
Sure.
the only place we mucked around with things, and you were still in SSRS, etc. This is a pretty steep learning curve for BI developers.
Oh, that's where I'm going with. Yeah.
I'm so glad I know.
We've
Git.
got jobs for years now. Let's
No,
go,
but
baby.
because what this does is, if you look at kind of like my team right now is almost about as dev as you can get, and this pretty much just like pushes us all over the board as far as like how
Now
we're
we're
gonna
really
start
developers.
well, fully
Yeah.
managing
Fully developer
Power
now.
BI reporting and deployments, and
Agree.
we
GitHub
can be
Actions
part
here.
of those releases,
Yeah.
Agree.
right? Because everything goes through these code reviews, everything goes through branches, and
Now you can code
merging
review
and,
it.
like, yeah.
Yeah, and now you can officially release a report with a Git connection to a workspace where you can actually have someone review your changes. You can have a developer build it, and you can have another developer look at that code and say, "I'm going to approve your code. We're going to sit down together and we're going to have a regular review." This fits Agile and Scrumming to the T now.
And that even for the community outside of this, how cool is this going to be to easily check someone's like, hey, I wrote a blog article like when Bernat does one of his amazing DAX calculations.
Heck yes.
Just review it and get.
Yep. Go view it and get it, or go add it in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, the team stuff. We have, if people
So-
wonder if we don't have topics anymore, we got topics.
An
Fabric for months,
unbeknownst-
baby.
Right. Hey, we're going to start talking about how you work in DevOps and deployment.
This is another whole area that it's getting so easy to use this stuff. It's so free to use.
So
It's gonna be everywhere.
My point is though, you say easy and free to use. Like
It's
this
not
is
easy. in
This,
the beginning.
this is a like out of the Fabric announcements for BI teams and developers. Like this is going to be your first big jump you got to make, because this is the one you want to make hardcore,
Mhm.
Priority.
because
Oh,
this is absolutely how you manage your
This scales a
ecosystem,
team.
This
Yeah.
especially for like external facing reports.
Oh, totally agree.
But would you do this for everything now? All your
think
internal
so.
reports?
So again, this is where. So I don't know. This is what I don't know. So this is
A
going
lot of
to be.
reports.
This is going to be built
Fast
on.
and easy versus
Yes.
like maybe this is my golden data, my certified.
I think. I
So
think
this
it'd
is
be
where I was
gold
going
and
with
a layer
it.
down.
I think this is for
This is
sure. Everything certified
fully-
goes through this process.
This
This
is-
is a
this is-
certified process.
This is where this is the full governance, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yes.
This is where I'm making guarantees. We don't let changes
Correct.
go out willy nilly. Like
Yep.
yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
not building. In this case, you're not building reports off the shooting from the hip, like some guy in business is doing. Like, and maybe you localize.
You don't
this-
want to lock everything down either, right?
Well, this
Because
could be a
there's-
finance
there's-
team. Right, that you'd say this is all regulated to this finance team. They have their own space. This is how it works, and so that teams that are more advanced
Yeah.
are going to be able to use this. I will say
Oh, I would
the,
make those requirements.
the center of excellence needs to teach this. So if this is going to be part of your certification process, the center of excellence must know this, know how to work with it, know how to use it, and then teach it to the broader part of the organization. So when there are teams that are capable and really do need certified reporting, we have to educate on this now.
So
This is gonna
just
be
coming out-
huge.
This is just coming out in the next desktop release,
Oh, please.
right?
I don't know. He hasn't said anything about release.
Okay,
There's been no
let's- yeah,
concrete
let's-
release so far. I don't know.
There was what else is tied to the next desktop release though? Is it the OneDrive integration?
The one link.
OneDrive's out now.
No, it was in the pre-announcement.
Oh,
where
that
it was
one?
like you have to toggle something. Is that in the
Oh,
current release, or is
the
that
pre-announcement announcement?
Yeah.
It's the SharePoint. I'm not going to work with this.
the OneDrive to SharePoint? But that's what he's showing here is like that linkage.
Nothing in here is
No,
SharePoint.
that only worked with P by X. I
No,
don't think that's
the
gonna work.
OneDrive linkage is what I'm.
Yeah.
saying.
That's it. I don't know.
Maybe
I'm not sure. I'm not sure
I
I'm
mean,
following you.
The OneDrive and SharePoint to view the report, I think was only PBIX. I don't know if it was PBIP. This is gonna. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay,
Well, I know
keep
they
going.
didn't release. Otherwise, we would have talked to like what's a
Same Azure
PBIP.
DevOps repo. But we didn't stop here. We will
Don't stop,
also
Rui.
enable
Don't
you
stop.
To sync a Git repo to a workspace in the service. And for that, you
You
need to
can
go to the
deploy.
workspace settings where you will find an option called Git integration that will allow you to connect the workspace to an Azure DevOps Git repo. So
So your
let's select
publish
the
goes
Azure
directly to the
DevOps
workspace.
Yep.
organization,
This makes sense.
projects,
This is just like Synapse.
repo
Yeah.
and branch we were working.
And it works with
can
GitHub
click
too. I'm
on
assuming
connect
it's not
and
just DevOps. Yeah.
I think it's just general
if
Git
all-
integration.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
just enabled a two-way synchronization between the
Oh
workspace and the
my
Git repo in Azure
gosh.
DevOps.
This makes sense.
It will
Yeah.
start by synchronizing the content from Git into the workspace.
Oh, you could have different
creating a
branches in your
report and a dataset
branch.
artifact.
You could have
Did they say
main,
that?
dev, test, and
must
prod.
Would that be
Make
the
it
deployment pipeline?
Because
He's
That would make
attaching
so
to
much
it.
sense.
No, he's attaching to a branch right now.
Yeah.
So it's a branch on Git. Could be anything. It could be any workspace.
Synchronize those changes into Git. Let's make a small edit in the sales report.
and it's gonna
and
update.
change.
Oh,
the
this is good
background
because this is
color
something we always had problems with,
of
getting
its
changes out of
card
service.
into red and save. And also, let's create a new report.
Oh, look, something just changed. A
and
little
create
icon appeared
very
saying it was
simple
different.
report and save it to the workspace. And I want you to notice two things. The first one
This is huge.
indication in the toolbar in the source
Ha!
control,
Yeah,
where I
I
can
caught it.
click and I can see
Yeah.
changes that are from the workspace.
This is on
into
point,
Git.
dude.
And I can see that I have a modification in the sales report, and I have a new report called Report from Service. I can click on both changes. I can undo these changes if I want, but I'm not going to do
Can you
that. I
view
will
them?
commit, and I will provide a message.
Commit. And a
And
message.
let's hit
It's a
commit.
commit message. Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
service is going to synchronize both changes into Git.
Come on,
And
dude.
We have a
This is
lot to
good.
teach- We have a
This
lot
is
to
really
teach
good.
people.
And
I
you-
can-
so
I can
pause
see
this.
that my
Like, what's really
workspace is
cool about
connected
this
to the
though
main
is
branch.
like
I
how
can
often
see
are
the
you
last time
deploying
it
something?
synced.
How often are you deploying something and then you get it out there and you're doing final checks and you're like, dang it! Like, right? Like
I
there's
forgot to
a
change
couple-
that thing. Yeah.
couple things you just wanted to tweak,
Yep.
and now you can actually commit that back into.
And now we have version history
Yeah.
and detail. Oh my god!
And you now you can revert, right? So if you didn't
Yeah.
like what you did, you can uncommit
Mhm.
the changes you just made.
Right.
Wow, the whole governance thing. Here.
Wow.
All right, let's roll.
This is killer. Yeah, very, very good job.
Yeah, love this.
And I also have a link that will take me to the commit. So
Oh
where-
yeah.
and
Yes,
this
dude.
will take me into
I
Azure
love you, Rui.
DevOps, and it will tell me exactly.
Rui's the bomb, man. Rui
what
knows what's
I've
up.
changed.
And you
Now,
can tell
let's
this is
go
a
back
real
to my
demo.
local
That's
machine.
the URL.
If I go back to my local folder, I can only see the
This
sales
was not
dataset and the
developed in
sales
Figma.
report. I don't have the report that was created in the service because this is still in Git.
Yeah.
But I can open Visual Studio
You
Code
could have another report. in
and
the
I
folder.
can do a Git pull.
Git pull. Yeah.
And Visual Studio
This is
Code
like the
will
default,
sync
right?
the
Every time you
content
come in
from
here, you get
Git
latest
into
kind
my
of thing.
local machine. And if I go back to the folder, I can see that I have my new report.
Oh
created.
yeah.
Whoa!
Check
And of
that
course,
out.
I can open
cool.
this back in desktop.
Of
And
course
now
we
we'll
can.
be able to see the change that I did
Well,
in the service.
where's the other pip?
The switch
then?
off the background color.
Right? No, it wouldn't be a pip.
But I can also open
Oh,
the
but-
report directly by navigating to the
like a-
report folder.
Look, this is
and
the new
opening
one.
the definition file.
This is the other file
This
here.
will
Ed.
be a desktop.
Hey, you need two
will
hats
open
now.
the service created report for local authoring.
And it's
But
a
this
live
time
connection.
connected to the
Whoa, whoa,
local
whoa.
dataset.
What
That
did
will
he do?
also be in full.
Whoa, did you hear that? He said this is the same report connected to the same data set. This is two thin reports
Oh, it's a thin
connected to
report.
the same data set on local. He's
So it
flipping
supports-
between.
It supports thin reports. So the
is
PBIP is the project file.
It's a project
right?
folder.
So you're creating a project
Oh
folder
man.
that
Yeah,
contains all
it's-
these objects, and
and-
now they're supporting
Yep.
all of the different scenarios of like not just having the model and the report in the same file. This is
Yep.
whatever you want to build in this project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now you can have a data set and you could have multiple thin reports in the
Mhm.
same project that are all
Because
hanging off
if
of the
you
same
deployed-
stuff.
Because if you deployed changes to a model, you'd have impacts across all those
All
Right.
reports.
projects.
Yes,
That
exactly right. This makes a ton of
Like the
sense.
thought of everything.
This is ridiculously improved.
All right.
All right, I love this. Move on.
Love
where
it.
I can
More.
view and edit measures, transform data, or even go
Wait.
to the data view to explore the dataset data. And
So it's
this
not a
is
live
The
connection.
new Power
No.
BI project save option that together with Git integration will unblock collaboration, source control, and automatic deployment into your Power BI project.
No, to be clear here, Tommy, he's jumping between different files. It's like
Yeah.
the model is being bolted into like we've been thinking about this
Right.
context of a single model and file altogether at one
Right.
time. This is still a single model and file altogether. He's just opening up report A with the model and report B with the same model. So it's one model,
There's-
multiple reports, and you can
When you
edit the
publish, it's
model.
only one model.
Yeah, correct. Well, yeah, exactly. That's yeah, 'cause it's all bound together. This is slick. I really like this feature.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You're welcome.
That is amazing. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat in store for you. Zoe is going to show us real demos
Vision.
of features that are coming soon. We want to give you a sneak peek into
vision.
the future.
You mean Visio? Oh, sorry.
Into the
Visio.
So,
future.
Zoe, why don't you show us what we've done lately for semantic model authoring?
Sure. So one of the things we've been doing recently is we've been making some changes to the model view.
Pause.
So in the model view, you have
Pausing.
your familiar view of all the tables in the diagram.
Okay,
That
paused.
icon on the top
Yep.
left.
New icon. New
Direct
icons all
link to the
replaced.
podcast.
What? Top left? What?
Well,
No,
there's
on
one
far left.
far left, right below the model view.
underneath.
There's a
That's
new
a-
icon.
That's a direct link
Yeah.
to the Explicit Measures podcast.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Want to not learn Power BI? Want to laugh all day and waste your time? Here, click this
Do you
button
need
and watch.
Do you need a break? We do too.
You know what? We need to get. Hey, if anyone in the community is listening, if any one of you out there who is all one of you who are listening right now, please someone make an Explicit Measures external toolbar ribbon thing.
Yeah, there you
and,
go.
and go and just
Explicit
put it.
measures. Time
This
out.
is-
No, you know what that does? If you click on that, that summons all three of us on a live chat.
And then there's another icon right there next to new table. There's a calculation group right there in the middle. So there's all.
Oh.
Yeah, Alex caught it. New calculation group icon right up there in the middle center there.
Wow.
Here we go. New
Okay.
features.
Alright.
And you have them listed over here in the data pane.
Mhm.
But now we're introducing this new model pivot. And this gives you full view of all the semantic objects in your model. So here I can see my roles,
Calculation.
I can see all the relationships,
Wow.
perspectives, and all the measures.
Oh, that's a new
rendered all
thing.
in
We've never been able to see
different
those
tables.
before.
Lot
And
of-
Christian, I know you're gonna be excited about this one, but we also can now have calculation groups
Wow.
listed.
Nice.
And not
What a relief.
Christian's
not
comments
only
here are
can we
funny.
see
Like, what a relief.
calculation groups, but we can actually come in
I've been
and now
working
for the
on that
first time
for
in
6
desktop
years.
actually see the calculation items.
Mhm.
And if I click on it, I can actually edit it here right in desktop. So I can actually edit and create calc groups.
Oh, I love
right in
this.
desktop.
Wow, I am blown away, Zoe, because this model view is kind of like the field list that we know for the report view, but this is like the field list for the model view, where I can see all of the semantic model objects in one place, including even the calculation groups and calculation items, because, you know, calculation group authoring happens to be one of the highest voted items on ideas.
I
on
still wish you
PowerBI.com.
couldn't create a net.
So it
You
is
like that
just,
plug?
so gratifying to see that
I
we
still-
can create them here. They're so useful.
I wish you
for
still
these
couldn't create a
large
measure
models
in the
with
model
complex
view, but you could see all the semantic
so,
layers.
Yeah.
I do
Gotta
have
go
a
to the
question
canvas.
for you about complex calculations. You know, the formula bar, occasionally, I have to say, if you don't mind me saying, occasionally I feel a little bit constrained when I'm authoring these really complex calculations
yeah.
with lots of interdependencies between measures. Is there anything that we're doing soon to address that?
No.
Yeah, so I'm glad
Yeah,
you asked,
no,
Christian, because
sorry.
it is. You may have
We
noticed
ran
that
out of budget. We
both
couldn't do
of
it.
They're available in desktop.
There's our
and
new
now we're
icon.
Introducing the DAX query view. So here I can write
I'm
any
disappointed.
Look,
DAX
there's
query in
Copilot.
this model
Copilot's got a
and
button.
run it right here in desktop.
Come
So
on,
here I
use it.
have one that is showing
Push
me
it.
the profit margin by fiscal year. I'm gonna hit run, and I
Wow.
can see that run.
Oh,
right
that's
here. And
cool.
This measure
Okay.
here, I can
Okay,
actually click
that's-
on here, hover,
That's
and
cool.
I can see the DAX expression.
We've been
right
waiting
in
for
context
this.
in the DAX query.
This
view.
is amazing. This is something that
Look
I've
at the
always
comment.
wanted for
Christian, I
That's a
couldn't agree
Copilot.
more.
Yeah.
You know, when you're working on a measure and it references another measure, it's quite distracting to
Oh.
have to
Yeah,
to
quite
context
distracting.
switch to click on the other measure
I
in order
agree.
to see the definition. But this does raise another question, because this measure is referring to the measure definition for this one's referring to two other measures, and naturally I want to see the definitions for all of them in one place.
Oh,
Does
this is cool.
Address that scenario at all?
It's like they took all the
Yes, it
bad
does.
parts
So
of
if
data
I
marts
click on
and-
this one, you'll see this
Mhm.
little light bulb show up.
Mhm.
Here, I can click
This is
on
good.
and I can say I can define this measure,
Mhm.
or I can define this measure and
Oh, look at this.
references.
Wow.
Holy
So
cow.
now I
This
can
is stolen
see
right from Tabular Editor.
multiple DAX expressions listed here. I
Oh.
can
means
see
it's a good
the
idea.
profit margin.
It's a good
and
idea.
I can see all the measures down to the data columns
So is the
that is used to
results
generate
table.
that measure.
That's
And-
amazing.
I
Now,
like
Christian,
this.
You can not only just see it here, but you can also make changes.
You can make changes right here.
Oh,
I can
I
make,
may
I
write
can
them
do
back.
two measures at once. I'll show you. So
That'd
here
be
I'm
good.
going to multiply our
Oh,
costs by
dude,
2.
this is cool.
And
All right,
maybe
I like
we'll
it.
sell everything.
I like it.
You also
Ship it.
notice how they introed
right?
this, right?
Just to make up for
Yeah.
the
Show me the
And
future.
now I
Uh-huh.
can run this.
Yeah,
and I
not
can
here yet.
see what
Win,
impact that
win.
would have on our profit margin, which it goes up to 40%. Now,
Bro,
these
that's
changes
so
still
awesome.
only
Again,
limited to the
Easy to
single
make
DAX
sales
query.
increase
If I
by
go
multiplying by
back to my
2.
Just save the model.
We still see the old value of 11%.
That's the secret. That's why Microsoft's doing so well.
But
Yeah.
this DAX query view is pretty smart and knows I have these measures in my
Yes.
model. So it's giving me this
No,
inline
they're doing
column to
something with
actually
the
save
times
it
3
back. So I
times
can
2. That's
quickly
for
save the
that's
changes I've
for
made to this measure.
That's for how much they pay us to run the Explosive Measures
Model.
podcast.
That's report behavior, my friend. I see what
Still
they're
in
doing.
context of what I was doing.
Mhm.
And if I go back to my report view, I can see
That's cool.
it actually updated with those
That-
measure changes.
It's
I like this.
seamless integration.
This is the way to go.
She's like, wow, I've
Back
never
when you're
seen that
comfortable.
before. But
I've
it's
been
very
only working on this
solid.
for 4 years.
Yeah.
Straight back to the model. This
Picard
is
approves.
Such a
Yeah.
productivity boost, but you know, it
Picard
does
approves.
beg another question.
He's
though,
gonna
because
slaughter
here I
me
can
for that
see
one.
these
He's gonna kill you.
different definitions, but you know, some of these models they may have hundreds or even 1,000 measures, and why not just see all of them so that I can do, for example, global find and
It's
replace?
all right.
Is there
People
anything that
people
we can
bash me
do
for the
for
Walter
that
White.
scenario?
Absolutely.
We all have our
I
things.
can actually come over here into the data pane. I can right click and use this quick queries,
Mhm.
which
Oh,
will
Captain,
What?
my
list
Captain.
all the
No.
measures in the model.
Oh yeah.
Now,
What?
here,
Yes,
Wait.
this
all
is
these
sick.
measures that I have
It
in my
defines
model.
everything.
He's got to
I can
open a
do
new window. You
find,
can't put it in the
I can
window
do
like this.
replace,
Oh.
Find and
do
replace
other text
even.
editor things here, like I can zoom
This-
in.
This is Monaco. This is the Monaco
Well,
editor.
not
This
only
is the
that,
same
I
what's
can
in Visual Studio
all of the
Code.
measure definitions, so you can go
No,
in,
it's the same thing in
as
a
if I
tablet
just said
editor
before, edit any
for
of
a
them,
DAX
save them
script.
back
It's
to
a
the
DAX
model.
script.
But I also gave you a query with them, so you can actually even just run this and see all your measures, and then tailor this to what you need. You can add a group by column, remove measures, whatever you need to do. It's already
This is amazing.
I like how it does the
Amazing.
summary columns too
So
automatically.
another thing those quick
Yeah.
queries can do
It auto generates it for you.
is, and I can now come over.
You have to in order to get the evaluation
New
statement to
page.
make all the measures happen.
And
Oh,
I
the
can
different
actually
tabs.
define a single measure. So let's go ahead and take a look at this discount, and I can say,
Oh, that
just
that
show
right
me
click better be a part of
for
the
this
prominent
measure
menu.
alone,
Mm-hmm.
and I
There
can
should
run
be
it.
no drop down.
And
no
not only
drop
that,
down.
But now I have the summarized columns here. I can go ahead and I can add a
Wow.
group by
Full
column,
IntelliSense. and
full
everything.
IntelliSense,
Oh, that's cool.
and I can run this right here
Just to
and
get a
see
quick-
that come
Yeah.
up. Now, it's not only for measures.
Because you're not even making the
can
measure change.
also-
You're just looking at what the
come
measure
down to
does and
the
evaluating
here
against tables of data,
Right,
which is what
right,
you
it's
want.
a query. It's just
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
DAX
I can
Studio
right-click
built
and I have a quick
into
query
Yeah, this is good.
also
Final.
to give me the top 100 rows, which would be really helpful for those of you.
Look, it's got a timer even. It tells you it runs it for you.
directory
Yeah,
That's
they took
cool.
all the good parts of data
don't
mart to
have
just
that
put it
data
into
view.
here.
And then you can also
I don't think we're
get
going to use
back
data marts
to-
anymore.
We're not
So
using
if I
it.
wanted to see what countries do we have in this model, I have a quick query for
Oh,
that,
nice.
and we can come in.
Oh,
and
that's
see
cool.
Distinct values.
Finally.
So we
Man.
go ahead
Dude,
and
that'll
run
help
this.
out with analysis.
And now you can
Wow.
see.
Yeah, this
all
was-
the
this
Valid-
talks about our
validating.
exploratory.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize there were so many different ways to.
This goes
generate
right
these
back to
DAX
our
queries, but
Python conversation
a
about
lot of the
It
DAX
does.
queries are actually
analysis.
generated by the
Because we didn't have
report
that.
Visual.
You just
Now
had
it's here.
18 pages.
You might even want
So
to
throw out
intersect
Python,
the DAX
just keep
query
learning
generated
DAX.
by the report
I'm still going to
for
focus on the
example, for
Python.
DAX. Is there anything that we can do to address that scenario?
Absolutely. So, as you know, our more advanced users will go to the performance analyzer and
Heck
get
yeah, we
the
will.
query out of there. But
Yes.
now we've made just as
It's where
easy
I
as
live.
quick queries. You can right-click any visual, go to inspect visual, and now that DAX query is over in. the
Oh!
DAX query
Oh,
view panel,
yes.
so you can
Wait,
go
what?
ahead and
What?
check whatever
That's
column.
amazing.
Not
Oh,
only
Yeah,
that's
buddy.
DAX
on-
Studio 101.
because it's so tightly integrated in desktop,
Mhm.
not only will it do the visual in this state, but I can actually filter it.
It's going to
And
read
then
And
you
it
do the
retains the
visual.
filter.
Inspect visual.
And
It
brings
takes the
filter.
filter
And it brings the
context.
filter. So
Oh,
here,
this
you
is going to
can
help
see
you
that.
tune all your queries so you know what's
Oh, man.
And you
doing.
see how it
What?
Greg
works.
Baldini is
Visual.
losing his
And
mind.
finally,
I hope
we
Greg,
can
Greg,
also
why are you
take
not
that
watching this with us, Greg?
individual data point and inspect just that data point to see
Wow.
what's behind it.
This is so good.
Oh,
You've
Greg's gonna have
literally thought of
problems. I know he's gonna
everything.
have a problem.
I'm so happy. I mean, this is such a product.
What a big improvement.
Zoe. I honestly can't believe it. Next
Yeah,
year, they're
coming
gonna
I
in
wonder if the
2025.
Hold on.
gonna write the DAX for me.
I wonder if
Wouldn't
the
that be
results are
something?
different from that DAX Studio.
Well, it's funny you should
Wait,
say
back
that,
up.
Christian, because I actually
Okay.
didn't
Back
write
up.
that first
Okay.
query either.
Tommy was
Tell
talking
me
again.
that you've thought of everything. You've literally thought of everything. I am so happy. I mean, this is such a productivity booster, Zoe. I honestly can't believe it. Next, you're going to tell me that the system's going to write the DAX for me. Wouldn't that be something?
Well, it's
Tried
funny
it
you should say
before.
that, Christian, because I actually didn't write that first query either. I had Copilot and Power BI. do that
No,
for me.
I don't believe it.
Do you
I
want
don't
me to show
believe
you?
it. Yes.
All right, so here we can say, show me profit margin.
I like this. I like how she's typing a
by
comment
fiscal
Yeah.
year.
to ask it the
That's
question.
like a lot of Copilot now.
Yeah, this is totally like Copilot. This is just like
No.
Studio.
Query
Yeah.
for me.
My goodness, this is amazing. This will change everything.
So not only that, but
This
it's
is what
conversation.
We'll
this is
see.
what stuff should have been earlier.
It's going to actually suggest another prompt
Oh,
and another query because I already did it by year. Maybe
it's
it
like
thinks, well,
they
maybe I
built
want to
Copilot
Wow.
in-
and it will do that for me.
This
the
is
first-
good.
It's kind
This
of
is the first
eager to have a
Copilot I've seen in a
conversation
Microsoft
with
tool
you,
that
and
makes
it's
sense.
taken your instructions that were specified in English and it translated them effectively to
This is
DAX.
really good.
Amazing, amazing, absolutely amazing. You know, I know some individuals who you would have thought DAX is their
Tommy,
native
Seth, and Mike.
language, actually.
Yeah.
And then others like us, we're comfortable providing instructions in English and having the system generate the DAX for us. But some other individuals, they may not have English as their first language. What do they have to do? Do they need to use some kind of an online translator to use this tool?
No, they can actually just speak to it in whatever language they're comfortable with. Okay, so here I have a prompt in German.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, it took that prompt no problem and wrote a query based off of what I had in German here. And then not only
Didn't write it
did
in German, but okay.
do the
I'll give
first
it that.
query, but now it's going to continually prompt.
I can't believe
It
it.
did. It
In
prompted
German.
in German.
And because it saw that I was speaking to it in German, it thought maybe I was actually interested
Oh,
in only the
that's
customers in Germany.
crazy.
So
Unbelievable.
that is its next step. It was it's gonna continue to
Okay.
do that.
It-
It's going
that's-
to continue
this
to
is
Berlin
do
now.
that, narrowing in.
Where
now.
city is Berlin?
Wow. So it's quite chatty and it's quite keen
Quite
to
chatty.
have a conversation with you, and it's detected that it believes your
Yes,
native
it sends you
language is
text
German,
messages
so it's
after
gonna have a
10 p.m.
conversation
and
with
one's
you.
asking, "What are you
This is
doing?
just
What are you doing?
amazing. Like,
Why
I-
are you
I
not
know
doxing
some
right now?
Are you up?
this will
Don't you
transform
want
Are you
the
up?
way we
No, that's just
work.
me.
Now,
Me?
That's just me texting you,
something
Tommy.
about these AI co-pilots that,
You don't
that,
query anymore.
with regard to the Microsoft products, they are now becoming ubiquitous across Microsoft products. So is there anywhere else in Power BI that I can use this AI co-pilot experience?
Yeah. So let me show you a report that I had published.
I'm waiting for her to say no just one time.
I know.
Here we have also. A
No, we didn't think of
Copilot.
that.
And if I click on this,
No, we
we
didn't think
have
of that.
Copilot
Hang
pane.
on.
Mhm.
And
Hang
now
on.
first it's going to actually suggest some prompts based off of the data it already sees. But I
Automated
can still
inside.
just put in whatever prompt
Notice
I
no
want.
URL.
So here I'm gonna go ask it to tell me about the sales performance in Australia, right? So that's
No
This is
way.
this is desktop.
right,
This is
and
not.
immediately it's giving me
a web browser.
No,
summary
no,
of
That's-
it-
that's the
it's
browser.
not
This is
desktop. It is the
amazing.
browser.
You can
That's
have
the
a
This is desktop.
conversation with the
No,
No,
look
it's
at the
not.
left-hand side.
Ask it how to increase.
Oh, yeah,
sales,
you're
for
right.
example.
Sure. So we just go in here and we can ask it how it's going to increase the sales further. And
Unbelievable.
here we go.
And just like that, it came up with a little business plan. It's given you a customer demographic. which
Yeah,
countries to
you're right.
target,
The chat-
marketing, promotion.
Pause. Read the
This is
text.
literally
What's the
amazing.
text say? I missed it.
You can increase sales by using selected measure. And
What else can you do with this?
Did it
So
really?
We can also
back.
so
Zoom
I
in,
have slices
zoom in.
on this
I don't know if I
report.
can do
have
that.
Some slices, but none for country.
Roll back
you
10.
got zoom it,
So-
right?
This
Hold
is
on.
literally amazing, Zoe. Like, what else can you do with this?
So we can also, so I don't have any slicers on this report. Well, I have some slicers, but none for country. So I can actually ask
Stop.
Copilot
Okay,
Sales
pause.
amount and
to
selected
filter the
measure.
report to
Pause
Australia.
it. It's like the second second sentence
Revenue
down.
by month and country. Revenue and sales and selected measure. Title,
Title.
by month and country.
That's how you
visuals.
increase sales.
See,
Yeah.
this feels like the other AI things. We'll see. Yeah, we'll have
Still
to,
need you still need to define everything, man.
still got to define everything. That's exactly right.
Australia, right? So we can take a further look.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to ask my permission to apply the filter,
Okay.
and it's going to do that. So the way it did it is it actually used the filter pane.
As
Because you didn't
Alex
have a
said,
slice.
just
Yeah,
increase
didn't
your
have
sales by
slices, so it
multiplying
actually
by
used the
2.
filter pane and
I do agree that
for
one.
Australia.
This is
Sure
really
fine.
helpful, right? Because some users may not even know there is a filter pane, and even those that do are going to have to go and find Australia in the list of
Everyone
menus.
should
This
know
is
there's a
just
filter pane by
so
now.
smooth, so-
We've been
so
talking about it on the
easy,
podcast
you
for
know,
weeks.
especially for users who
For
may have not
years.
seen
For years.
this particular report. I mean, some of these reports are visually stunning. Someone's obviously put their heart and soul into authoring these beautiful
Yeah,
reports.
he's
but
downplaying it
sometimes
now.
it can be a little bit
Yeah.
overwhelming because there's so much going on in there. There's
Subtle
so much
reference.
information
Subtle
packed
reference.
into
Yeah.
these reports. So sometimes it's as though I could
Don't
really
you have
use
a
some kind of a
magic button?
TLDR summary of the reports.
Yeah,
Do you
too
think
long didn't
Copilot
read,
We
can
yeah.
still
do
need our
that?
Power BI
Yeah.
developers. Well,
absolutely
actually,
can.
we've
But
circumvented a
we
way
actually have
around
another Copilot
developers.
that actually may be
This
better
is-
suited for that task.
Okay.
So here we have a visual Copilot that I can keep on the report
Ooh.
even after. So the pane will just be for me, but here I can actually now use a prompt that my report consumers can use. So let's
So
go
this-
ahead and choose
Oh.
this one.
Report
Wow.
consumer
To,
prompting.
Yeah.
let's say,
That makes
give
sense.
me,
Like, I don't get
let's
it.
see.
Show me
So give
things
me
in this
Well,
way.
yeah, show me
20-word
something
summary
else.
of key takeaways, and let's
No,
use
this
some
is, I think, a
examples of
huge
that.
part of the
Summarize
community.
this visual. It'd be like, summarize
Right.
this visual would be
And
cool.
just like
They didn't
But they
before,
have,
we
yeah.
have our summary built in.
This is amazing. So this summary is going to change when new data
Oops,
comes
sorry.
through this system.
Yep.
What about cross filtering? Does
Yep.
that work too?
Absolutely.
Amazing. So it's a dynamic summary
Amazing.
for.
I love his
users who
reactions.
are,
It's so good.
Viewing this report for the
They're
first
in
time,
reading view though.
getting
They're not
a-
in edit
a-
view.
A head start on what the report is about. This is
Because
that's
it's
all-
for the
that's all
report
editor.
consumer.
a great
Yeah.
product.
The consumer's going to edit the report.
No,
They're gonna be able to-
pause. This is that experience on the visual is for the end user to. So if the
Should
way
be
I
in
read
read-only
that-
mode.
the way I see that though is like that's the context to a visual that somebody doesn't understand.
Yeah,
Right.
but they were
Like
in
they
edit
could
mode.
ask additional Copilot. No, they weren't.
Questions about it.
Yeah, they go back.
Were they?
That was all in the.
You
That was in the
just said
reader
it was
mode.
in the read mode.
Yeah,
No, this is reading view.
yeah, correct. Because
Text box shapes, buttons, visual interactions. That's edit mode in the web. Reading view means you want to go back to reading view.
All right, whatever. Move on.
it's still web.
Remember, there's no URL.
Work in progress.
Tool, Zoe, this will really change the way that we author models and we interact with
So
reports.
Zoe, when can we
Just
expect to see
changes
this stuff
everything. So
released?
thank you so much.
You're welcome, Christian. And also, I would like to note that this is not the only place we have Copilot
It's not?
in Power BI and Fabric. I think there's another session that's going to get into a few more of them as well.
Oh, you mean Patrick Baumgartner's session?
Yes.
When's
yes.
that?
So be sure to
So-
check out that
All
one.
right.
Okay.
all
Zoe's
right.
on the call.
Thank you so much.
You're
Zoe.
not doing
Oh,
Thank you.
Zoe, hi.
Nice job. Way to go,
Let's
Zoe.
summarize the important
It was
Power BI
awesome.
announcement.
That's what she
Direct
wanted to
link
say
datasets
no
in
to.
Fabric is in public preview. Try them out today. Power BI Desktop
Yeah,
Developer
that'd be a
Mode
hot take.
public
That's
preview
amazing.
is coming to a release
This is
near you
amazing.
very soon. It's so close I can almost touch it. Azure Analysis Services 2
Into-
Fabric.
She
will
said-
For
be
2025.
released.
All right,
And
all right.
Yes!
not only
We got it.
migration
We're in
to
Way to
private
go,
preview,
Zoe.
public
Now
preview,
you
but
can
we're
take your
happy. We're
semantic
happy.
models from Azure
She
Analysis
said before
Services
2025.
Hey, here's
I
the
love
thing.
it.
Fabric with just
Power
a few
BI
clicks
desktop release
and
soon,
align
so
with
it's probably the
Microsoft
next
BI
one.
product roadmap.
This is
Data
good.
modeling in the Power
Optimized
BI
Risen?
service
Okay,
Is
is
okay,
now
okay,
public
okay.
preview.
So the Git
Like you saw
integrate.
me
Okay, so
create the
yeah, I was
direct
right.
link
I'll take
That's-
that.
datasets
So
web
That's
next
a huge
experience.
one.
a release
You can do
soon.
so-
Okay,
All right, so we're saying a lot of this is build.
right. A lot of it is like the Git integration, so that's coming soon. That I got to prep my team for. Maybe we should meet with the devs for how you work with Git and deployment.
Yeah,
through
but
DevOps.
that's public preview. That's not going to be
Yeah,
general availability.
yeah.
So it's going to be just early testing. It's going to probably be out for like 3 to 6 months before they actually try to push it to GA, right? Because that's
Mhm.
going to take some time to kind of really solidify first. But you can play with it soon, hopefully.
And I think that's going to be one of our things we talk about is this is all this stuff's amazing, but when's the rollout, right? Like you can start playing around with it. But
This was pretty
is
good,
not
though.
a conversation. I don't think, Seth, you're going to have the conversation tomorrow saying, hey, we're migrating everything to Git now.
But you're gonna kick off an MVP
Right.
around figuring out how much effort
Oh,
it's going to take to do that.
totally.
For sure.
Yeah, for
For
sure. Oh, this is good. Really, really good. Super
for
cool.
other data sets too. The optimized ribbon for Power BI Desktop is generally available. Unlock big data with optimized reports authoring experiences. Paginated report drill through is in
Wait,
public
Direct Lake
preview.
is
This
already
a
available now?
commonly used feature for SQL Server
Direct
reporting
datasets
services.
for-
I gotta go
So it
play with
removes
that.
a barrier when
That's going to be in the
migrating from
desktop.
on-premises to
Directly.
Fabric. The
Direct
MongoDB
Lake
feature
datasets for Lakehouse.
one of
It's already
most
there.
Requested connectors on ideas.powerbi.com is now in public preview. Hybrid tables is generally available. Unlock massive data for interactive analysis with real-time streaming capabilities.
Way to go,
And
Christian.
lastly, Azure Log Analytics
Way to go,
integration
Captain.
for fine-grained logging
Captain, my
and
captain.
auditing of
This was
Power
good.
BI
I'd follow you
engine
anywhere.
events is now
This is so
generally
great.
available.
Great
So,
development.
with that, thank you all so much for attending
No,
the build. This
thank
one was
you.
really
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
Thank
you.
you to
You.
Zoe, thank you to Rui, and see you all next time.
Man, that
Oh,
was a
that
good
was
one.
awesome.
That was
That was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So what's okay? Granted, some of actually a lot of the things thus far are where I need to delineate, and I think a lot of users do. Is okay. We've just changed an eco or created a new ecosystem of like products, and if you think about like Power BI's release, right? Power BI, brand new thing, but it leveraged existing architectures,
Yeah.
right? Power Query or
Mhm.
already around for a long time. Tabular models already around for a long time. You put on a new user interface, new visualization. In the same way, like this is unifying a lot of the individualized products across the board, creating new user experiences for us. But there's a lot of like it's teeing up a lot of things, and I think where I and many other people are at are okay, what do we get now versus I see a lot of these amazing future forward things, and maybe they're presenting this because you only get that in this like one lake, right? Because my thought when we were initially coming up with like seeing the video for the first time and seeing the diagram for like the 10th time today was okay, if I'm doing AI and things like you think about ChatGPT, you think about DALL-E and Databricks, et cetera, like it all requires like the data to be in one place. Well, that would make sense why OneLake is that source, right?
Right.
If
Mhm.
Copilot's this integrated thing, well, now it works across all your data. There are no silos. So I think where my mind goes is like, okay, if I can use and utilize this and all of my data is coming into this location and I have enough privileges, like I'm really interested in if that starts to solve some of these, pyramid questions we have of how do you consolidate
Yeah.
data sets? How do you
Right.
guide business users into the same thing? Because yes, is it opening up a whole new ball of like interesting scenarios where business now has
100%.
access to enterprise tools? Oh, of course. We'll
Yes.
be talking about that ad nauseum, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
But at the same time, if there's some way for us to see that ecosystem and then start to navigate those waters, it's probably a better scenario than we have right now where you don't
Yep.
have access to all the data all the time.
Yes.
And there's a lot of great vision, but there's also, I think, a lot of seas to navigate. This is all new for all of us. And not just using it, but also within a team or organization.
And Tommy was getting really nervous before we talked on the call here. He's like, dude,
I never get nervous.
He's like, I got to learn so much more stuff now, like lakes, lake houses, Parquet, Delta, all these other notebooks, Jupyter, Python.
Or how it
like,
integrates in
and
there.
I'm like,
yeah.
Tommy, we just leveled the whole platform just leveled up, and everyone's at ground zero. This is a brand new world. We've got a whole series of new tools, and again, some people have had some experience in like working in Synapse and Data Factory, but like now we have. To me, this is really the grow up story, right? Start in a workspace, promote it to Fabric, and now you get a whole bunch of other robust engineering tools that are using a lot more of the Synapse, Data Factory, enterprise grade solutions. One thing I see here that's very interesting to me that as I look at this whole thing, dev test prod separated by 3 separate workspaces or 3 separate environments, I think is very uniquely done now. I think this platform as a service, you no longer have multiple lakes for different environments. I think now. I think Microsoft is really pushing you towards one environment for everything. And by the way, you still manage those different dev test prods in the same blob storage account, but now you're doing it with permissioning using Azure Active Directory on those assets. And so this is going to be a very big pushback from enterprise because enterprise loves to have multiple infrastructure up in place. Separation of systems.
Because then there is no cross contamination ever.
Yep.
Well, the big difference and I immediately go to is at least in Databricks or even Synapse Data Factory, it's a little more structured in terms of how you're setting everything up with your resources. Here, this is all new navigation for all of us. What's the governance? Who has the ownership? How much more talent or skill are we allowing to the business side of it? Or is it still the same people doing it? And then how is that infrastructure set up? Because now we have workspaces. We're not dealing with resource groups. We're not dealing with the same, it's the tool, the UI is the same, but the location, the organization's huge. So those are all new waters to navigate.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be interesting. So a lot like understanding the ecosystem, figuring out the nuance. I'm sure, like I said, yay. Hey, if you thought we were running out of topics,
right?
Which we weren't.
Surprise.
For sure we won't. Surprise.
I am looking at one of our topics. This is what's the next game changer? I can archive that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There is one episode that we did recently, and I can't find it right off the top of my head, but we did discuss like the evolution of business intelligence.
Mm.
Right? Do you remember this? And
Yes,
then there was
we
was
did.
one article where a guy was like, "This is what the third wave needs to look like," and I
Yeah.
need to like combat some of the announcement stuff again and future state of where they want to take it
Yes.
against that, because there are quite a few like oh my goodness type reactions that you come out of in every one of these sessions, right?
And I
And
haven't, honestly, I gotta be honest, I haven't had reactions to Power BI things like this for a long time. There's been a lot of development going on, and it felt like a lot of the recent years announcements on some stuff was just like, it's good. I
Mhm.
like where we're going. But to me, this felt like really momentum shifting for what we're going to be building.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to be just very clear. Things are probably, again, most stuff that comes out of these early developments in preview, right?
Just
gonna-
hit public
It's
preview.
it's
right?
going to be rough.
Yeah.
It's going to be bumpy. But if they can improve this like they did with Power Query and the experience with Power Query online or data flows, I think this could be a real big winner here. It's going to take some time to mature, but I like it. I think this is great.
Yeah.
Anyways, well, with that, we want to just thank you very much for listening.
For
This is
real.
not a podcast. This is just a random video that we did on the YouTubes and the internet. So thank you everyone who was participating. Chat, we really appreciate your comments. Thank you so much for chatting and engaging with the content. We hope you like Build. If there are many more sessions coming tomorrow, so if you want, go ahead and register. There's a link down below in the description of this video. Go ahead and register. Make sure you participate. Go grab some videos, watch the content. There are some really big announcements, and we're really excited to see where Microsoft's going with this. So good work, Microsoft. Keep up the good announcements and keep the good features coming. We love it. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time.